you know, and in the U.S., say oil tycoons or, you know, mining industrialists, whatever, these people, this generational wealth, so nobody wants to talk about it because it's kind of an abrasive thing to say. But here's I guess my take on it, and we'll take the Rockefellers for example, just because. Now, I'm not going to say that I hold any of these opinions, but I think an argument can be made that that through avenues such as the Trilateral Commission, the Council of Foreign Affairs, different brain trust type groups that advise through very persuasive methods the policies and, in fact, sometimes the laws themselves, the actions of this fine nation, much as certain business people have sway in other countries. Say, well, let's just name a few: England, France, Russia, China, Japan, North Korea, for sure. The list goes on and on throughout the world that there are certain bloodlines that go back to massive wealth, and that wealth has only increased. Now, I understand the great charity of many of these families. However, there's John Rockefeller, whichever the fuck one, was instrumental in the starting of the Council on Foreign Relations. Sorry, I said Foreign Affairs, but Council on Foreign Relations, Trilateral Commission, the globalization of the economy, the degradation of the dollar, the institution of the petrodollar policies, with which make the U.S. dollar the default currency, the standard by which oil is purchased. So that is the only, well, it's not the only reason, but it is a good portion of the reason that the U.S. dollar retains a pretty significant portion of its strength. That, and of course, we have the largest economy in the world, but we have also allowed some just utterly traitorous policies that have thrown us into a chasm of debt. And, you know, it's not like this debt is insurmountable. It's certainly not. It's, everyone says, well, you know, you're bankrupting your grandchildren. And we have done that. Well, not me personally, probably not you personally, but hypocritical assholes have done that. Anyone who voted for the Wall Street bailout, any representatives who voted for the Wall Street bailout, the automotive industry bailout, I see as a completely different issue, because there was an economic justification for the auto industry. Wall Street made reckless decisions, behaved illegally, and then was bailed out for the efforts of fleecing Americans. So in all probability, you not only got fucked once by your 401ks suffering and hurting, you got fucked a second time when you got to pay additional taxes and to bail out these pieces of shit. I mean, there's got to be, we all have to be realistic about everything. Gun control, immigration policy. Here, let's just make a fucking deal. We will look at individuals on are they a criminal or not basis. And I'm not talking about, the rhetoric has changed. I believe that Donald Trump is doing some very good things. I believe he's said some very stupid things in the past, but he's proving to be incredibly resourceful. And I think he has an absolute genius strategy that I didn't see coming. And I don't know, it's been a whirlwind of events, but he's such a polarizing figure that the opposing side, the Democrats, and I'll pick on the Democrats because I said it before, Nadler on TV, on CNN, comparing the goddamn Russia troll farm of 13 people sending out mildly offensive memes sometimes, but mostly it was just patriotic shit. It was a fucking troll farm. If you don't know what a troll farm is, all they do is they just fucking blast out all this shit trying to get hits, and they'll send it social media to people. I mean, it's meant to just draw attention by any fucking means necessary to a site, so that site can accumulate hits and become an appetizing investment opportunity for sponsors, for advertisers. That's all a troll farm does. If you think that the Russians hacked the election, I'm not even gonna say anything bad about you. Just stop watching the media that you're watching, because seriously, you can say the same thing about me, that's fine. But I've read all the files, all the documents that I can find. I've actively pursued finding more information about this. And there's no... The Russia conspiracy thing is bullshit. I think there's a good chance. I mean, this indictment for 13 Russians on a fucking troll farm, it's hilarious, honestly, in its insanity. Because, all right, fine, they're indicted. Now what? Do you think they're going to be extradited to face charges that are... I mean, to say trumped up, bad pun, but seriously, charges that are this fucking retarded, this ridiculous. I mean, look at the material. If you think, you know what? Macron interfered more in the U.S. election than Russia did. Netanyahu interfered more in the U.S. election than Russia did. all over the globe, there was a lot more interference than what Russia did. We just have such a hyper-partisan political environment right now, the political climate. The left hates Donald Trump so badly that they will attempt to paint anything as treasonous or treacherous or deserving of impeachment. It's just, there's so much that is actually happening right now. The QAnon tale that is continuing to unfold is it's amazing. QAnon is now calling into question the real status of Edward Snowden. Has been doing that for probably about a week or so. Now I was kind of crushed when I saw this. I'm like, oh shit, seriously? I had always ever since the big leak from Snowden, I had considered him to be a patriot and a hero. But if it was all a scam, if it was all this crazy CIA op, which now seems to be possible, I mean, honestly, hey, good job, CIA, because that's some shit. That is amazing. But yeah, that's a pretty scumbag maneuver. And, I've always spoken really highly of Edward Snowden and whistleblowers because, especially the government, I mean, the Spectrum, a billion different spy programs on an unsuspecting public in a completely unconstitutional and illegal manner. Yeah, that's something we should know about. But if Edward Snowden is a traitor as fuck, well, then I hope that he has to pay for it. I mean, I still like the guy. I'm giving him benefit of the doubt, but this QAnon, this storyline is just it's better than any espionage novel ever written, in my opinion. I hope that anyone who can checks out the QAnonposts.com or check out Dr. Jerome Corsi. I think it's Jerome. But it's Dr. Corsi. Every time there's a Q message or messages, typically it comes in a spattering. So anytime that there are, Dr. Corsi goes on YouTube, and I think he's got his own channel, stuff like that, but he kind of decodes what he can or does his best at it. I would assume as far as ability to be accurate, to be right, I mean, the guy has counterintelligence background at the highest levels, so I tend to think that when he's decoding and interpreting, I tend to think that he's as close to the truth as anyone without access could be. So, but yeah, I mean, there's overtly in a message, I don't know if it was today or if it was yesterday, but I saw it, and